Hey everyone, it's another edition of it's another edition of the Interludes Podcast. That's right. It's your host Val the Voice Johnson, and I'm excited to let you guys know about a very talented individual based out of Atlanta, Georgia, who's going to be joining us on and in our 10th season of the Interludes Podcast. You know how much we love talking to filmmakers and musicians. That's like my jam. But of course, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Interludes, a Pure Lighthouse production, or follow us on Spotify and Apple Music. But let's get going right about now. It's another edition of the Interludes Podcast. You could tell I'm so used to saying Interlude Sex Represents Talk on Tuesdays, but this is, I like to call it a live recording, and just excited to bring on our guest. He has been in the music business for over 20 years. When we talked offline and I found out all of the talented musicians he has either helped or backed or been helping in all of this time. And then here's the thing, he also trains young musicians and is learning AI like myself on how to get things going. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to the stage Rodney Edge Sr. Welcome. Hey, how are you?
Hey Val, how are you?
I am phenomenal. It's good to see you on today.
Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me. This is
Oh my.
this is dope. This is dope.
And it's all about branding, because if you're watching this, he has on his shirt EdgeMuzik and wearing one of my favorite colors, which is red, which means passion. And here's the thing, I always like to ask when I have folks on, like, what started your journey into music and also becoming a musician? Did you do several jobs, or was it always about the music?
So I've been a musician probably longer than I've been a student. And I say
Okay.
that not sarcastically, but realistically. Started playing drums at age 2. I got this from my mama. Okay. Started playing drums. I married Edge's boy. Started playing drums at age 2. Guitar age 5, piano by age 7, bass by age 9. So
Oh.
I've been kind of doing music a long time. So
And I know for myself, I got started. I learned how to play the piano. I mainly played the piano by ear at one point, and then I started playing guitar, and I just didn't keep it up. I think as I transitioned into college, I didn't keep it up. And some of my friends that have started on the path of being a musician, when they started young, they never got off of that path. What kept you focused on developing your craft?
honestly, I love music. That's the best, that's the best explanation. I love how it made me feel. Of course, as I got older, uh, kind of learned it was my superpower. Some people had sports. I always had music, and I had it in a way that I didn't know that it was my superpower. Um, if I can be kind of honest, I knew it could get me places and get me things. And I recognized that at a young age, even though where I come from, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for that, like there is now. But I loved I loved the benefits from it. But as I got older, I loved how I was able to affect environments and affect atmospheres. So that kept me in it.
Yeah. And a lot of talented musicians, including my cousin Kendall, who did the theme music for our podcast, he got his start in church. What about you?
Oh yeah. I am the blood nephew of a gospel artist named Reverend Janice Brown. Reverend Janice Brown and my home church pastor at the time, Reverend F.C. Barnes, they did a song called Rough Side of the Mountain.
Oh,
okay. That song blew up. I was 12 years old because right after that, his son, who is also still one of my biggest mentors, Luther Barnes, he had a hit record preceding that called I'm Still Holding On, sung Deborah. So I came up in church. I was the guy, the little school guy playing all the secular songs during the offering. During the offering, I mean, Miss Bible Belt. I'm from North Carolina, so Eastern North Carolina. So we were playing all the, I was playing stuff like Yamo Be There for the offering. That kind of, and I was like 11, 12 years old. So but that's to say, yes, I grew up in church, and funny enough, I own my skills, pretty much all of them, in church.
Yeah, and it's bass, it's piano, it's guitar. What other instruments do you know how to play?
I mean, I'm a keyboardist, right?
Okay.
But I say that I'm a keyboardist second. I'm a bassist first. Of course, I can play organ. I play drums. I did alto and tenor saxophone for about 6 years.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess I'm a multi-instrumentalist.
Which was that first big show that you either performed as yourself as an artist, or that you were one of the musicians backing one of, let's say, a major artist? What was that very first show?
The first big show I remember was with, I was 19. I was with Luther Barnes, and first of all, shout out to Pastor Luther Barnes. He'd been looking after me for a long time, mentoring me for a long time. I was 19. He came and got me from A&T State University, and we had to go to DC. He was opening up for commission.
Ooh,
and,
okay.
I was back there flubbing on everything because it was so many people. It was so many people. And that was the first time I realized how nervous I could really be. But that was probably the first big show, which was different, because we already had a relationship. This man watched me, grow up, before I could walk good. So, but yeah, that's probably the first big show.
Wow. Now, I always ask people, especially in film and with music, that artist that you worked with that made the impact. Of course, you have the one, like you mentioned, Luther, that helped you and watched you grow up. But who was that musician or artist, Christian or secular, that when you work with them, it was like, I would work with them again and again? Who comes to mind?
For me, and I don't mean this in any kind of pseudo way, but pretty much everybody. You
Oh,
know,
wow. Okay.
um, I think God has kind of looked out for me in that every place I've been, that um, the artists and I have always kind of connected. You know, there's a jazz artist I work with right now named Ken Ford, King of Strings. Um, he always poured into me uh, when I got with Glenn Jones during the pandemic and MD'd his show. And he would pour into me while I was out with Anita Baker, which was probably my first. I got that tour way later in life. Uh, he she not he I'm sorry, she poured into me big time. um
Mm.
uh Man, Kevin Edmonds with After Seven. um
Oh,
I mean, he poured into me big time. Certain points, I don't know if it's anybody that I can say. Oh, and of course, man, all the gospel people, Bishop Paul Morton, Bishop William Murphy. I mean, everybody, uh, even man, jazz people. Oh my God, it's too many to name.
yeah.
Because of, I think, because of how I value people, um, and how they make me value me. I don't know if there's anyone that outshines the other, even though, you know, all those artists are on different levels, right? But
Yeah.
everybody has been a blessing. Everybody.
Yeah. And it sounds like being a musical director on tour. I think I heard Kashif, they did an interview with him and he was talking about how tough sometimes it could be, when you're on tour with a band, because you're the one coordinating everything behind the scenes to make things
Yeah,
comfortable for that artist. Has
yeah.
there ever been one of those tours that you've been on that you were the musical director and it was by the grace of God things worked out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Two things. Number one, you know, when you're on tour and when you have to do shows, people don't realize um, the consumer, they show up for, you know 2-3 hour experience. The people on stage have been there at least 5 or 6 times that long. you know um, so we always have time to work on our issues, right, so that we can give the people a good product. But oh my God, my number one non-vested headache is audio engineers,
Yeah.
and some of them are my best friends. But
Yeah.
when they're not vested, they could be, because they control the bed of the presentation, right?
That's
So
right.
um, if you don't have someone that's with you, that is invested in your show, or if you don't know how to speak their language. A lot of musicians and especially musical directors, they speak engineer language. The engineers, they do not speak because, nobody's looking at them.
Right.
They only feel their presence. They don't get to witness. Seeing is believing. But engineers control what the Bible says. It's, your faith comes by hearing, and if that's not right, we go to all these different cities, and you know, we never get to see any of the city because we inside the four walls waiting on the engineers. And engineers work hard. Again, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
that's probably the biggest thing, because if they don't get their stuff right, and the artist is unhappy, nobody gets paid.
Wow. Yeah. Whew. And
Yes, it
I've
will.
heard I've heard some war stories from friends of mine that work in the industry, and you couldn't have said it better. It seems as though with music, especially what you do, relationships are paramount. They're so important. If if I was a young musician wanting to do music directing or writing or producing, what advice would you give them?
Um, develop relationships. You'll find out more the longer you live. You'll find out more from relationships than any instructor can ever teach you, unless you develop a relationship with your instructor. Then you get the best of both worlds. Um, I told a college choir one time for them to, it was gospel choir, but I told them, look around you, see who your neighbor is to your left or your right. Know their name, because you never know 10, 20 years from now who's going to be the person to help you, who's going to be the person you're in relationship with. And that stuff matters. So relationships are absolutely paramount. They are the pinnacle of doing this business.
Yeah, I definitely would 110% agree with that. Earlier this summer, unfortunately, we lost a gem in entertainment, and then also a lot of folks are recently finding out in music. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I saw this post on your IG, Rodney. I wanted you to kind of talk about your relationship with Malcolm and what he meant to your musical journey.
So it's funny. That's us with one of my best friends in the whole world, Kim Jenkins,
Mhm.
who's also a drummer and audio engineer. Uh,
Ah,
we had just, in this photo, we had just done Capitol Jazz. It kind of shocked everybody because, everybody was like, what's Theo doing on the main stage at Capitol Jazz? So he
Theo.
said, get that elephant out the room. And then we just proceeded to rock the stage. And then this particular photo, we were at the Church Street Jazz Festival in Norfolk. And um, sorry for taking so long to answer the question. It's just a lot that comes, you know, at this point. Malcolm and I, we met at the top of the pandemic, and
Okay.
we just got to be uh, really good friends, and uh, we ended up working together with a group here in Atlanta called the Bio Misfits, and we did a presentation called "We Got the Jazz," called the Jazz of Tribe Called Quest. He jumped up on stage during our first show, and everybody went crazy. So I had met him right before that, but ever since then, um, from that show, uh, he pulled me into his group, Miles Long, and we started touring the country. And but more than that, uh, we became really good friends. I told another interviewer, I still have just years and years of communication. Uh, he was one of the best artists, which we know because of how he influenced the culture. But more than that, he's one of the best human beings anybody could ever know. Sorry. Uh,
Yeah.
we just celebrated his birthday. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's I'm grateful I got to have a relationship with my brother.
Yeah. And that seems to be on repeat from folks who had a close relationship with Malcolm. He invested in relationships, he invested in people. And even with my share, I just found out that he shares the same birth date as my mom. My mom was born August 18th.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so I just never met him, but just got a good vibe from a lot of
If
the
you had,
projects he
you
was a
never
part of.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
you had, you never forget him, and not because he's Theo, but because he's Malcolm all water.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's, you know, I mean, he didn't have security. I mean, we would protect him wherever he went, but you know, I mean, you saw him. Who gonna mess with Mal? I mean, you know, Joker's 6'1", 225. I mean, you know, but yeah, one of the absolute best people to ever walk this earth. I'm a miss him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nope. It's okay. It's okay. And I think, yeah, all of us are praying for his family, his wife, and his mom, who really helped him in his early part of his career. But this is wonderful. Just before the show, you told me that you guys, the musicians, some of you all are planning a concert that's going to be celebrating Malcolm. Tell us about it.
So we were in the works of representing. We got the jazz, jazz tribe called Quest, but now that's turned into a celebration, a musical celebration for Malcolm Jamal Warner that is going to be announced probably by the time this airs. We will be at Center Stage on October the 19th. We do a jam, a monthly jam called the Jam on First Thursdays here in Atlanta at Buteco in Grant Park. And you can find us there. It's not an open mic, but it's a jam session, and people pack that place out every first Thursday. He was a part of that group as a bassist and vocalist. And nobody knew what was going to happen, but we kind of built this reputation of just, good vibes in the air, unrehearsed, just whatever comes out, comes out. But yes, October 19th. So we made a lot of surprise artists, a lot of surprise people. You don't want to be the one that's not there. I'll say that much.
which is good.
It's gonna be crazy.
And knowing how much, I want to call it, music folks or caliber of folks that you've associated with over the decades, you just pick up a phone and say, hey, we'd love for you to come, and they would probably go ahead and show up because it's Rodney.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm graced, I'm blessed with a lot of relationships here that have helped me create other relationships. So that show is being run by our manager Craig Garrett, who's also one of my best friends. But you'll be able to find that at Next Level Events in Atlanta, Georgia. So the word will be going out on social media and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah. I might have to come back down to Atlanta and check that out in person. If people wanted to find out a little bit more about you and your music and some of the things that upcoming events that you'll be participating in, where would they go?
You can find me. We are working on my website, which is edgemuzik.com. That's EDGEMUZIK. I am most active on Instagram.
Ah.
I also have, you can find me under the same name, Rodney Edge Sr. or EdgeMuzik. I also have a YouTube page that I have started, which is also youtube.com. That's that EdgeMuzik, where I'll be sharing not only events, but I started a coaching program where I'm teaching musicians, producers, educators, and students about what I feel like is the future of music and music technology, things I've used on the big stages over the last 6 to 7 years. And you've if you go to Instagram or go to YouTube, yes, I'm on Facebook a little bit, but if you look up my name, I used to flex in the arguments and say Google me, but if you but if you look me up on YouTube or Instagram, you'll find me and everything we're doing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so very much for that. Rodney Edge Sr. Great you joined us with the Interludes podcast, and you have to come back whenever you have some more projects or things that are happening with you. Would you come back?
Oh, absolutely. Anything for Val the Voice. Val the Voice. Val the Interludes. Y'all know Val, anytime she speaks, it's just like her voice is like the balm in Gilead. It just soothes all doubts and calms all fears. Just let her pray over you or something. Just let that cascade on you. I will absolutely come back.
Wonderful. You are too kind with your words.
Yeah. No, but thank you for having me. Seriously, it's a blessing and an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes Podcast.